Hey, it's Sam of What Yacht to Do, and I am here. We are getting ready to head out on our boat 2-week vacation in the Netherlands, and I am here at Yacht. That's a Marina de Vinkeveen. Talked to the harbor master there a little bit earlier, and we are going to look around the dock here and just take a look at some boats. I was told yesterday that this is an old U.S. Coast Guard boat that was brought over, and so some of you may recognize that type of boat, but there are all kinds of boats here on the lake at Vinkeveen, which is just south of Amsterdam, and we will be going through Amsterdam along the way, and we'll just see what it looks like. We are dealt with a little bit of rain today, and it looks like the weekend is going to be filled with what is called Koning's Day, or King's Day, here in the Netherlands, celebrating the King's Day. So there will be lots of activities, but right now is a good time to walk around the dock and look at some boats. As we walk around the docks here, we see a lot of smaller boats, just day boats you can take out on the beautiful lake out here. And even some of them have a covered slip, kind of a makeshift covered slip. You don't worry too much about the tides in here. There is one lock that we will have to get out of on our way. When we set sail tomorrow, we'll have 2 other boats with us, and we will be leading the way for them. There is an online program that we downloaded called Waterkarten, and it is very robust, has all real-time information about bridges and locks and all kinds of stuff on it. So we'll be using that with a backup of Aquamap, which we did in our planning to get here, and also have been communicating with the Vinkeveen boat base, asking questions, and just walking around here on the dock and seeing some of the boats. Again, just like I was in Scotland and Wales and the UK, you'll see boats here. Oh, the configurations are similar to what we have in the US, and you'll see a lot of the same types of boats here, but the names are different. One that we will point out here in a little bit is an Elling, and that is a boat, believe it or not, that I had considered buying at one time for a loop boat, but I'll tell you why a little bit later. I decided not to get one of those. A number of reasons. Very interesting configurations here, built for heading out for the day, or this one here. You could cruise anywhere with this one along the canals. And the canal structure in Europe and the Netherlands and going into Germany is quite expansive, as I've learned. So you could spend more time than you could spend on the Great Loop, that's for sure, cruising around this area. And look at this really well-kept tug/barge. Look at the size of the rudder on that one. I'm sure it has a good protected prop on it. And somebody has put a lot of work into that, keeping it nice. Obviously an older workboat, but who knows what it's used for now. I'm sure it's a steel hull, very beefy looking to be able to be out on the canals here in Europe. As we walk down this dock here, we see some bigger boats. Look at that one. It's very interesting to be able to walk out here. I wish it was a better day, because I'm kind of walking around here fast. It is raining, but not too much. And again, I would like to know the story behind each and every one of these boats here. I have a lot of questions, but it is a Thursday and raining. There's not a lot of folks. Yesterday I was out here and I ran into a gentleman who has the boat on the end here. I'll show you it in a minute. And he filled me in on what was going on with that boat. Typical runabout. And look at this one. This looks like one of the original Green Line hybrids. It says number 5 on there, and I don't know if that's the 5th one. They are built in Croatia. At one of the original designs had 2 Volkswagen turbo diesels in them, and was a simple concept, and since then they've gone totally hybrid, and then also produced some gas models Green Line has. So interesting concept as you look toward the future, how hybrid boats would work. Another beautiful boat here, and this one, as you see here, is a liveaboard. And a man saw us looking at the boat yesterday, came out, introduced himself, and he said he lives aboard that boat. And it used to have a mast on it to be able to sail. Interesting thing about it, you would say, well, with something like that, you're going to have a bow thruster. Yes, it does have a bow thruster, and it even has its own diesel engine for that bow thruster. He also has stabilizer boards, a left one and a right one, that come out for when it was sailing. So lots of interesting things about that boat, as he lives on that boat year round and has it nicely converted on the inside. Nice gentleman to be able to talk to. So told me about the boat, built in 1902. Taking a look at 2 really beautiful boats here. This one, you can see the teak nicely kept on it. On the inside slip here. Beautiful boat, nice clean looking design. Not sure of the make, and if I were real interested in it, I would be taking pictures and using Google search to figure out the type of boat. But I love this one too. This wide design looks very seaworthy. Look at an anchor on there. Kind of reminds me of a Sabre. The name of the boat is Il Vento. Nice yardarm flags there. Again, well kept. And I did see the name of the boat yesterday. The make of this boat here is on the back. And there it is. Taivano Brava 1220. We are out here at the end. You can see the seawall and the lake out there. Not too rough out there. And for our departure tomorrow, this weather system should be passed and we should be okay. Again, who can build boats better than the Dutch? They've been building them for a long time. So, see the designs here. And then the one that I told you about, my favorite boat. If I were over here and I could afford it, I'd get me an Elling. Elling. And this boat has got a spectacular performance on it, as far as if it capsizes, it comes right back up. It also has not only the regular engine on it, but it's got something called a wing engine, a get-home engine. And one of the reasons I didn't purchase one is I had a marine electrician look at it in the U.S., and he said in order to be able to convert that over, to be able to use at all the marinas, I'd have to do a lot of work on it. And you know how I feel about electrics on a U.S. boat. They were challenge number 1, and I thought, well, because I love this boat so much and the interior, you can Google an Elling and see what they are on the interior. They are exquisite boats. So one of the boats that if I were over here, I would definitely look into getting an Elling. Another look at the Taivano Brava 1220, and I think 1220 probably means 12 meters and 0.20 of a meter. I don't know, but it looks right length for that. And how nice that is to be able to sit out there, and the full open door to the salon and helm area. So just really well set up. Here's one that needs a little bit of work. There's a person living on that boat, but still floating and people still living on the boat. As we walk up here, we see a couple of what I call a houseboat. They've got a helm at the front, and I can only imagine you probably just want to take this boxy looking boat out on a calm day. And I would think most of the time they're sitting here having cocktails looking at the beautiful lake. We're coming up on some boats. This is a bigger one. We are actually renting a clipper, and the other folks are renting a caprice, and then we also have somebody renting a Cirrus. So we're going to see 3 types of boats along our way, at least for the first week of cruising. And we selected the boat to cruise on, as they gave us a pretty good deal for a 2-week cruise, and we are looking forward to that very much, to be able to cruise in the Netherlands. All right, we're going to take another walk here down this row, Le Boat Row, and you can see the number of different types, sizes of boats that they have to be able to accommodate people on the waterways. And Le Boat, multinational company, but they do a good job of getting people out on the water safely. I was real impressed with their safety video and indoctrination program. So if you're going to run a company like this, you have to have it together, and you also have to be able to communicate to people in a number of different languages. So I look at their program and say, wow, you know, they do a good job considering the challenges they have. The Clipper, that is the boat that we will take. One of those, I don't know if it's Clipper 6 or what it is, but that is the size boat we have. It's about, well, it's 11 meters, so whatever that comes out to be, about 35 feet or so. And you will also see here a Mystique 15. That's a bigger boat. And the boat that we're going to go on, we'll give you a tour of that, but 4 people could go on it comfortably, and they'll just be Rev and myself. There's another couple that going with us that will have a Caprice. So you'll see to get what the Caprice is like. It's just a shade longer. Now the setup inside is just a little bit different. A couple more Clippers here. And then a really nice longer one, the Royal Classique. I think that you can get maybe 10 people on there, don't quote me, but as I was looking through and we were seeing what size boat we wanted to have space, had looked at the Classiques. And then we have a couple who is also going with us. They're on a Cirrus B, which is that boat, the Cirrus, and it's a little bit smaller. I think it's 10 meters is what I remember. But you can see they're kind of stacked up here. This is a big base. They have one other base in the Netherlands up north. And it's not possible, I thought it would be possible to take a boat from here and return it at the other base, but not possible for the time frame that we had in mind. See the electrical keeping shore power going. It's 15 amp and it just tops off the batteries, and we'll get a complete rundown on the boat systems. Coming up here, you can see what appears to be another liveaboard, and some ones on the outside out there, more liveaboards I'm sure. So if you're going to run an operation like this, you're going to have to be able to take those boats out, repair them, keep them in good working order. So they are equipped here with a 35,000 kilogram lift to be able to haul boats out, and also a barn behind me that they can take the boats into and work on them, as well as diesel fuel here. And another shot of the marina out here where they do have some small covered slips that people are able to keep their boats in and keep them nice out there. Pan around here to be able to see the lift again. and the exit where I'll be heading back, as well as the barn where they'll take the boats in and work on them in there and keep them in good working order. As we wrap up here on this windy, rainy day, we see greenjoy.nl, which I imagine is all electric boat cruising. A lot of these boats out here, just day sailors, boats that will go out just for the day and then come back into the slip here. So the Yacht Haven or Marina here at Vinkeveen, south of Amsterdam.